I had been reluctant to contribute to this debate until I heard that side of the story, Mr. Acting President, the disingenuous portrayal of what's going on in these negotiations. And I tell you, as union leaders go, anyone who has met Mr. Claessens knows what a reasonable union secretary that person is. We'll move heaven and earth to try and get an outcome and negotiate. And for the government to come in here and try and twist and distort what's really going on is shameful. And I'll tell you what's going on. The government is trying to conjoin two separate issues. There are enterprise agreement negotiations happening at the moment which concern wages and conditions. And there is the safety issue associated with the new intercity fleet, the NIF. And what the government's trying to do is package both up and make the signing off on one contingent on the other. The RTBU has said to the government, if you're serious about fixing the mess you created with the NIF, these were the ones that were bought in South Korea that didn't fit train tracks, that were too long for tunnels, that had CCTV whereby the driver couldn't properly see the tracks and risked people falling between the cracks between the platforms and the rail lines. If the government was serious about fixing those issues, sign a rock-solid deed of agreement by a senior minister. Let's get that sorted out, and let's deal with the EA separately. But no, what the government's doing is manipulating the situation to try and get an agreement on the enterprise agreement contingent on signing off on fixing the NIF. Remember, the Leader of the Government, Mr Tudorhope, not too long ago was saying it was going to cost over $1 billion, and now the cost has come down to about $250 million. Surprise, surprise. But then on top of that, we've got this situation whereby the government comes in here and then says that Mr Claessens is shutting down the rail network when they know very well that that union is only shutting down 10% of the network supply, and the government wants to manipulate the situation by saying, well, because of that, we can't run the trains all day. So they are trying to exacerbate and magnify the effects of minimal industrial action designed to minimise disruptions in order to get the public offside. But guess what? The public see through this. They know that this is a reasonable union wanting safety outcomes on behalf of the passengers of New South Wales, and the EA should be separated from the negotiations on the NIF. And if you really want to sort it out, that's what you do, instead of trying to manipulate the situation, because that's what you're doing.